Have you ever wondered why it's so easy to set a huge goal, but so hard to actually see it through? Well, it turns out the answer isn't really about luck or just having more willpower than the next person. Nope. It's about a core skill, a powerful executive function in your brain that you can actually train. So let's dive in and really unpack how to master this art of self-control. So here's our game plan for today. We're gonna start by looking at that daily battle we all fight against impulse. Then we'll get a clear definition of what self-control really is. After that, we'll connect it to your big, long-term goals, show you how to strengthen it, and then wrap up with the key takeaways you can start using right away. All right, let's kick things off with the impulse battle. And this is something we all go through every single day. A lot of the time we don't even realize it's happening. It's like this constant little tug of war going on inside our heads. So that brings us right to the big question, the reason we're all here. Why is it so incredibly hard to stick to our long-term goals? I mean, whether it's saving money, learning an instrument, or just trying to get healthier, something always seems to get in the way. So, what is that something? Well, it's this internal conflict, right? On one side, you've got your impulsive actions. These are all driven by that need for immediate gratification. That's the voice in your head that says, yeah, eat the cake now, or just scroll on your phone for 5 more minutes. But on the other side, you've got your thoughtful decisions, which are totally focused on those long-term rewards. This is the central battle that self-control is built to manage. And that internal battle, it brings us to a really crucial point. We need to be super clear about what we're actually talking about here. See, self-control often gets mixed up with things like grit or willpower. But as you're about to see, it's so much more than that. Okay, here's the official take. Self-control is an essential executive function. Now, what's so important about this definition is that it frames self-control not as some personality trait you either have or you don't. It frames it as a cognitive process, a system inside your brain that's designed to regulate your behavior so you can get what you really want down the road. A really simple way to think about in executive function is to just imagine your brain has a CEO. This CEO isn't getting bogged down in all the little day-to-day dramas. It's making the big strategic choices for the future of the company. And in this case, you're the company. It's the part of you that's looking out for your future self. So if our brain has the CEO, what's its main job? Well, it's all about the long-term goal. This is the why. This is the fuel for the entire process of self-regulation. Because honestly, without a clear why, there's no real reason for our internal CEO to even bother fighting that impulse battle. Think of it just like this. Self-control is the bridge. It's the thing that connects all the small, sometimes kind of difficult choices you make today with the person you want to be and the things you want to achieve tomorrow. Every single time you use it, you're laying down one more stone on that bridge. So the key takeaway here is this. The real reward isn't just about resisting some temptation in the moment. The ultimate payoff is being able to stay focused on what is truly meaningful to you. It's about pointing your energy towards your most important goals instead of just getting pulled away by every short-term urge. So, here's the best part. If self-control is a function of the brain, can it be improved? Yes, absolutely. And this is where we get practical. Let's start thinking about it like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it's gonna get. So, how do we take it to the gym? Okay, the workout plan has basically 3 steps. First, to curb impulses, you have to actively recognize them and then just pause. A great trick is the 10-minute rule. Next time you feel that urge to buy something you don't need or to grab junk food, just tell yourself, okay, I'll wait 10 minutes. You're not saying no, you're just saying not yet. This little pause gives your brain's CEO time to get in the room. Second, you want to support those thoughtful decisions. A great way to do this is with an if-then plan. So instead of relying on willpower in the moment, you make a rule ahead of time. Like, if I finish this hard task at work, then I'll get up and take a 5-minute walk. It automates the better choice. And finally, you've got to maintain focus. And the best strategy for this? Design your environment for success. If you want to focus, put your phone in another room. If you want to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. You're just removing the trigger so there's no fight to begin with. Okay, we have covered a lot of ground here, from that internal battle we all face to some really practical steps for getting stronger. So let's put it all together and lock in the key takeaways from all this. So here's what you really need to remember. First, and this one is huge, self-control is a key executive function. It's a skill you can build, not some fixed personality trait. Second, its main job is to curb those immediate impulses so you can make more thoughtful, goal-oriented decisions. And maybe most importantly, just like a muscle, it gets stronger every single time you practice it. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. If you started training this muscle today, what is the one meaningful, long-term goal that mastering your self-control could finally help you achieve? Think about that. Because the power to build that bridge, well, it's entirely in your hands.